Transitional Housing for Men. After a thorough reading with our published article, we all know that you just have clearly perceived concerning transitional housing. Its different types, programs offered, costs, do's and don'ts upon staying in transitional homes and plenty of more. In broader views, let's see what are the common causes of being homeless. Homelessness could be a significant issue anyone may face, and a few causes of this problem are poverty, domestic violence, mental illness, loss of job, or perhaps addiction disorders. And for this article, we are reaching to talk about transitional housing for men akin to the causes of their homelessness, what are the advantages from getting into the program, and when would be a best time to avail their program. Moreover, if you have been laboriously tapping the search engine to seek out the transitional housing for you, then we are here to help you to find more information, specifically a shelter specialized care for men. For a quick understanding, we are aiming to use the 5 W's and H question as our framework to assemble the 4 most commonly asked questions. Who are the homeless? Homelessness is an excessive shape of poverty characterized through the instability of housing and the inadequacy of profits, fitness care helps and social helps. Homelessness has now no longer continually been a large hassle, let's take for example in Canada, however has grown into one over the last 20 years. As a society we've decreased our dedication to making sure there's always an okay deliver of less costly housing, profits and assist offerings to make certain that those who enjoy a number crises keep away from dropping their homes. In this context, the private situations that can cause homeless are many, and may afflict humans from in reality each community. People end up homeless while man or woman and own circle of relatives issues end up insurmountable. This might also additionally include catastrophic events, lack of employment, own circle of relatives destroys up, own circle of relatives violence, onset of intellectual and/or different debilitating illnesses, substance use through oneself or own circle of relatives members, a records of physical, sexual or emotional abuse, and involvement with inside the toddler welfare system. Whatever may be your reasons of suffering from homeless, we wanted you to know that there is always an open door or help to shelter you safely, at the same time filling in your physical needs, mental and mostly your social needs. What triggers men being homeless? Have you noticed on the street that mostly you've come across who are homeless are men, and you can barely notice some homeless women, right? What would be the common factors that causes this to happen? According to National Alliance to End Homelessness, that within 2018 the point in time, PIT, count that there about 67% of all people suffering from homelessness. Approximately 284 men compared to 119 which came from the women as a result. Majority of homeless individuals are men, which generated 70%, succeeded by women which is 29%, and the final 1% came from the transgender and non-binary individuals. However, this may vary also from country to country or cities. Taken also from another research finding from Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. Trauma is full size amongst guys who revel in homelessness, however this subject matter can also be taboo for plenty guys. Research suggests that the substantial majority of guys experiencing homelessness are survivors of violence and victimization. A 2000 look at the lifetime incidence of trauma amongst homeless human beings in Sydney, Australia, observed that trauma affected 90% of the guys studied. While some other look at from 2005 at the want for abuse and trauma offerings amongst human beings experiencing homelessness pronounced that 69% of guys who had co-happening issues had skilled a life-changing demanding event. How to cope up with it? Housing First framework make a lot feel for guys experiencing homelessness who are trauma survivors and or have behavioral fitness issues. People can't cope with their complicated personal struggles even as they're simply looking to survive. Once a person has an area to live, he's more likely so one can experience secure sufficient to start a technique of inspecting his lifestyles and selecting to make a few modifications in the direction of his recovery. Furthermore, society doesn't ought to care whether or not a homeless individual is a man or a woman. What's virtually going to make a distinction is to restore the economics, unemployment, the housing marketplace and one-percenters hoarding the wealth and a host of real issues. But it's less difficult for humans responsible matters on others and speak approximately why and what something is instead of simply coping with it. That isn't always to mention that there isn't quite a few work to be completed as some distance as public perceptions of the lives of guys, in addition to all homeless humans. Absolutely, the questioning that guys can't be sufferers of home violence, that guys can't be homeless with children, or that guys don't go through several different issues desires to be addressed. We can't function off of stereotypes, however on the equal time there are directions and that's what we follow. There are lots of healthful approaches to keep away from stress, consisting of getting rid of or keeping off the stressor, enhancing your eating regimen and sleeping patterns, enjoyable with music, or prioritizing with a planner. Homeless humans can't usually use those kinds of coping mechanisms due to the fact they don't have normal get right of entry to the services that could permit them to do so. FCOPES, Family Crisis Orientated Person Scales, a standardized manner of categorizing coping mechanisms, indicates approaches humans can cope in treasured and achievable approaches. Reframing. Looking on the state of affairs in a superb manner. Acquiring social support. Developing relationships with others who can assist in a few manner. Mobilizing the family. Searching out and making use of assist from network sources and different agencies. Passive appraisal. Minimizing one's reaction to difficulties. Seeking religious support. Relying on prayer or different non-secular beliefs. While homeless human beings should definitely use any of these coping mechanisms, a few researchers accept as true with its far higher to categorize the approaches humans cope into unique classes. The following classes emphasize movement with the aid of using homeless humans to deal with their situations. Active behavioral. Includes direct disagreement of problems, locating social support, investigating options, and planning. Active cognitive. Includes tries to distance oneself from contemporary problems, persistence and endurance, effective reframing of problems, and prayer. Avoidant. Includes using alcohol or drugs, now no longer expressing feelings, denial, or distractions like portray or reading. Why men are more likely to become homeless. Was it the choices of men to become homeless? Gender consequently acts as each a symptom and a purpose of homelessness and it additionally impacts men. Men are much more likely to be made redundant and much less in all likelihood to be rehired than women, accordingly growing their chance of falling into debt and dropping their home. They are much more likely to go through with intellectual fitness problems and people who enjoy home violence are much less in all likelihood to are searching for assist or obtain support, as many offerings are confined to women. The effect of homelessness may be very extreme for fitness and well-being. Research exhibits that guys who endure homelessness while struggling intellectual fitness troubles or abusing substances are much more likely to revel in longer durations of homelessness than people who grow to be homeless because of different reasons. Where can you find your gender-specific support housing? Searching your new shelter is a meticulous task to consider if you have various preferences to address your basic needs. However, we are here to provide you a bit of information about a gender-specific support housing. The Mother Teresa Transitional Housing for Men has a potential of 24 personal bedrooms. Their residence proportion not unusual place regions consisting of restrooms, showers, laundry facilities, kitchen, and pastime areas. In addition, supportive offerings and workshops are provided, i.e. rental counseling, fair housing, finances and cash management, saving for everlasting housing, anger management, nutrients and cooking classes, drug and alcohol prevention, workshops for the improvement of social competencies wished for recoming into lower back into society, help with finding employment, and possibilities are made to be had for the ones looking to go back to school. This transitional housing you can also refer to its link below to visit their webpage for further details about their programs. When is the suitable time for you to consider transitional housing? Some people can also additionally have a bad belief on the subject of residing in homeless shelters. While now no longer all corporations can be capable of offer exceptional offerings as others can also additionally expect, those agencies are ensuring that what they do are to their excellent efforts for homeless individuals. A homeless safe haven normally begins with a collection of people who need to increase a plan to assist humans with inside the network who want safe haven. It sooner or later grows right into a plan to place up a homeless refuge. Most homeless shelters are being funded through sponsors inclusive of hospitals, companies, professionals, and individuals. Companies, organizations who run homeless shelters, or sponsor them, create activities which could gain homeless individuals. Such charity occasions are very common, inclusive of lavish gala dinners and small bake-off festivals. For sufficiently funded homeless shelters, they're capable of offer applications for homeless humans in order that they'll sense that they belong to the network. Here are some lists which also contains hyperlinks of transitional housing exclusively for men that you can visit and search further information according to your needs. Start here. Coalition for the Homeless. Men's Emergency Shelter. Mother Teresa Shelter. The homeless refuge is an area that offers greater than the simple wishes of the homeless individuals. It additionally stands as a group that offers desire and energy for homeless human beings to consider in themselves that they could change their lives for the better,